You are Hesen, the original billionaire Chad of Imperial China. Bro, listen. If someone told you your entire life was a fever dream of power, charm, money, corruption, survival instinct, and main character energy, you'd probably laugh. But then you remember something. You're not someone. You're Hesen, the guy who speed ran the Qing Dynasty like it was a modded open-world RPG. And this story? It's told to you as you, in the language of a modern man who can't believe the insane highlights of his own life. Let's roll. You, my friend, were not born with privilege in the way people imagine. Sure, you were technically a Manchu noble. But your bank account? It looked like a college student's fridge. Empty, depressing, full of disappointment. Your mother died when you were 3. Your father died when you were 9. Your stepmother treated you like you were an unwanted side quest. By all metrics, your story should have become a tragedy. But then there was one little detail. You were stupidly handsome. Not cute, not nice jawline. Historical records literally describe you as elegant, fair-skinned, bright-eyed, charismatic, and moving with the confidence of a man who already knows the plot twist. Let's be honest, if Instagram existed, you'd have been verified at 14. You also happen to be extremely smart. You mastered 4 languages, Manchu, Chinese, Mongolian, Tibetan, memorized Confucian texts like TikTok audios, and wrote with the same calligraphy style as the emperor. Not similar, identical. At age 10, you were already speedrunning the meta. If I want to win, I need to understand the algorithm of power. That was your first W. Fast forward to your early 20s. You pay your way into becoming a low-ranking palace guard, basically the unpaid intern of Imperial China. A decorative accessory with job duties like stand there and breathe. But then fate hands you your first moment. The Emperor Qianlong, a man who loved art, beauty, intelligence, and good vibes, was reading a report and got mad. The whole court froze. No one dared move, except you. You stepped forward and explained the emperor's own reference from Confucian classics, word for word. The court went silent. Qianlong stared at you like he just discovered a cheat code. And from that moment on, you went from intern to VIP access in the emperor's life. You became his favorite, his right-hand man, his human Google Translate, his personal hype squad, and eventually the guy who basically ran the government while the emperor wrote poetry. It wasn't luck, it was charisma, plus timing, plus flawless emotional intelligence, plus your ability to read a room like it's a subtitles box. You didn't just impress him, you became the only person who spoke the emperor's emotional language. Like a modern billionaire plays social media, your rise was so fast it broke the speed limit. By age 26, you were a top minister, a palace administrator, a policymaker, and the emperor's most trusted political operator. People twice your age were calling you sir. People 3 times your age were scared of you. You walked into the palace like you owned the lease. Every decision mattered, every signature mattered, every whisper mattered. You didn't just exist in politics, you dominated it. And here's the thing Europeans and Americans will understand deeply. You understood people better than they understood themselves. That's the real superpower. You knew what the emperor wanted, what ministers feared, what enemies planned, what allies needed, what narratives controlled people. You played politics the way modern hedge fund managers play the market, aggressively, strategically, and with zero hesitation. Let's talk numbers. When you eventually fell and the new emperor seized your assets, they found 1.1 billion taels of silver. Adjusted to modern value? Try hundreds of billions of dollars. Yes, you read that right. You were richer than the Vatican's several nations' most modern billionaires and the Qing treasury itself. Your wealth was so absurd it became a meme in later generations. You owned mansions the size of small cities, warehouses full of gold artwork worth entire provinces, businesses across the empire. 75 pawn shops, the ancient version of owning 75 banks. A portfolio of assets so diversified it would make Wall Street analysts faint. And no, this wasn't quiet generational wealth. This was, I have more money than the government wealth. People literally joked, the emperor may rule China, but Hesen owns it. You lived like a billionaire influencer, luxury, everything. Extravagance, rare artifacts, powerful friends, political immunity, exclusive access to the emperor. You were the kind of guy who'd walk into a palace, pick up a priceless treasure someone intended for the emperor, and just keep it. And the craziest part? Everyone let you, because no one dared tell Qianlong's favorite no. In Western storytelling terms, you were the charming anti-hero. Brilliant, seductive, morally questionable, impossible to ignore. But politics is a game of seasons. For decades, as long as Emperor Qianlong lived, you were untouchable. You were his confidant, his emotional support minister, his living status symbol. But when he died, the entire chessboard flipped. The new emperor, Jiaqing, had been waiting patiently. He smiled through the years, said nothing, acted obedient. And the moment Qianlong died, he came for you, swift, cold, surgical. He charged you with crimes, many deserved, some exaggerated, seized your empire of wealth, dismantled your network, and forced you to take your own life. Western readers will recognize this trope. The king falls, the favorite falls with him. Power has no friends, only beneficiaries. Most people vanish when they die. Their influence evaporates, but not you. Your wealth became a benchmark. Your ambition became legend. Your life became a warning. Your charm became myth. Western historians still talk about you as the richest man of the 18th century, the ultimate political operator, the Chinese Gatsby, but with actual power, the man who bent an empire around his charisma. Even your enemies admitted your brilliance, and modern readers, especially Westerners who understand power dynamics, look at your life and see something universal. Charisma can build empires. Overconfidence can destroy them. But legacy? Legacy is built from both. You're the guy who started with nothing weaponized charm, mastered institutions, manipulated narratives, built obscene wealth, controlled the empire from the shadows, and lived like a billionaire rock star in an era before capitalism existed. You're proof that history isn't made by saints or scholars. It's made by people who understand the game and play it better than anyone else. In another life, you would have run Apple, Google, and Tesla at the same time. In this life, you ran Imperial China. And the final twist? Even your downfall couldn't erase your brand. People still talk about you. People still argue about you. People still write books, make shows, debate your morality, analyze your strategies. Because deep down, everyone recognizes the truth. You were a main character in a world full of NPCs.